Welcome to this explainer. Okay, if you're a parent, an aunt, an uncle, an educator, or really anyone who spends any amount of time with young kids, you are probably deeply familiar with the beautiful, chaotic scene we're tackling today. It's a super relatable and, let's be honest, often exhausting topic, the psychology of a child who simply won't stop asking questions. We have all been there. So, today, we're going to dive straight into the source material to decode what's actually happening in those little minds. Picture your typical Tuesday morning, right? You're just trying to get out the door and the barrage starts. Why is the sky blue? Why do I have to sleep? Why can't I eat ice cream for breakfast? It's literally like a rapid-fire interrogation. The day starts with why, it peaks at lunch with why, and it ends at bedtime with, yeah, you guessed it, why. It's this relentless stream of curiosity that can wear down absolutely anyone, even the most patient among us.
So let's get into Section 1, the endless why phase. What are they really trying to do?
You know, when our patience runs thin with all these questions, what do we naturally assume? We look at the kid and think, are you just being difficult? Are you trying to delay bedtime? Are you just trying to argue with me to win? Honestly, when you're running 10 minutes late and you hear the absolute dozenth why about putting on shoes, it kind of feels like a personal attack. But the research offers a really fascinating perspective here that completely shifts how we view this behavior.
Moving on to Section 2, Inside the Child's Brain, a program for cartography.
Okay, this is how we actually need to redefine the word why from the child's perspective. It's not a challenge, it's a request for help. Every single why is their brain basically saying, hey, help me understand how this world is organized. When they ask, why can't I do that, they're actively trying to locate where real safety and boundaries live. They aren't testing you to be defiant, you know? They are testing the environment to figure out what is secure. And this brilliantly illustrates the core concept of our source material. They aren't looking for a perfect answer. They are building a map of the world. Think about it for a second. As adults, we already have our map. We know how things work, we know what's normal, we know what's incredibly dangerous, and we know what is totally non-negotiable. But children? They're born with a blank piece of paper. Every single time they ask why, they're drawing a new line on their mental map. They're mapping out the physics, the social rules, and the boundaries of their universe. It's like a giant puzzle they're trying to piece together.
So, the absolute crucial point is summarized perfectly in this quote from our source material. Children ask why to practice thinking, not just to collect information. We so often think they're trying to build a Wikipedia page in their heads, just gathering random facts. But what they are actually doing is learning cause and effect. They're learning reason and consequence. This phase isn't just about collecting facts. It is the absolute foundation for independent thinking.
Which brings us to Section 3, Why Parents Feel Friction. A clash of operating systems.
So on one side of this clash, we have the adult brain, which operates heavily in efficiency and control mode. Our main goal is just to get things done, check off the to-do list, and move the day forward, right? So when we hear why, our brain instantly hears delay, resistance, or even disrespect. But on the other side, the child brain is in pure learning mode. They are just seeking patterns. They don't care about the schedule at all. When these two operating systems interact, that mismatch creates massive, massive tension. To us, why feels like serious friction. To them, it's just pure exploration. Plus, we really have to acknowledge our own generational baggage here. I mean, many of us grew up in homes where asking why simply wasn't encouraged, so our nervous systems actually react before our patience even has a chance to kick in. Because of how we were raised, our default defense mechanism is often that classic conversation-ending phrase, because I said so. And we say it simply because our brain is desperately trying to maintain control of the situation. Let's look at Section 4, Connection over Perfect Answers, the crucial mindset shift.
Our source material highlights a really powerful shift in perspective here. Curiosity doesn't grow from information, it grows from connection. Let that sink in for a moment. What truly matters in these chaotic moments isn't how factually accurate or super detailed your answer is. What actually matters is how your child's brain feels in that exact moment. You don't need to win an argument, and you certainly don't need to be a walking encyclopedia.
Just notice what calm, short answers actually communicate to a kid's brain. When you stay calm, you are literally telling them curiosity is safe here. You're proving to them, hey, I can ask questions without losing connection with my caregiver. My growing brain is welcome.
Honestly, even just simply replying with, "That's a really good question," or, "I'm not sure, let's think about it," does exponentially more for their brain development than a 10-minute, highly frustrated lecture ever could.
All right, moving to Section 5, 3 steps to respond, your practical toolkit.
Let's walk through this toolkit from the source material. Step 1. You don't actually have to answer every single why. Try slowing things down and asking a question back. Just say something like, "Well, why do you think that happens?" This keeps their curiosity completely alive without turning you into a full-time lecturer. Step 2. Keep your answers simple. Remember, young brains don't need exhaustive scientific explanations. They need clear patterns. Short answers feel safe to them. Long, highly complex answers actually just feel overwhelming. And Step 3, which is absolutely massive. Notice your own regulation. Pay close attention to when your own patience is starting to run on empty.
And this brilliant point really ties it all together. Protecting the connection matters way more than finishing the explanation. The experts note that your patience running out is just a regulation signal for you. It is absolutely not a parenting failure. It is perfectly okay and actually super healthy to look at your child and say, "I hear your question, but I'm feeling a little tired right now. Let's talk about it later." Protecting that warmth between the two of you is always the ultimate goal.
100. Now, if your child asks you why 100 times a day, your very first instinct might be to think you are doing something terribly wrong. But the source material tells us the exact opposite. If they are asking you 100 times a day, it's actual, tangible proof that their brain feels safe enough to stay curious with you. You are their safe base for exploration. Now, sure, some days you'll be infinitely patient, and some days you'll be completely exhausted. Both of those are just part of real, authentic parenting.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to take away from our explainer today. The next time you hear that familiar why ringing out from the backseat of the car, I want you to ask yourself, is your child trying to annoy you, or are they just proving they feel safe with you? Because when you truly understand that, the endless why stops feeling like frustrating noise and it starts feeling like beautiful proof that a growing brain is doing exactly what it's meant to do. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Stay curious, and we'll catch you on the next one.